Okay, what's up, gang? I'm gonna talk about some nerd stuff and throw a bit of gags on some cartoon reviewers. Don't worry, I actually like you guys, but I just want to do this for fun. So, you ever seen some little thing like this? Like the thingy on screen move and do cool kick and punch which gave you the happiness boost? That's called animation. But you already know that, right? However, those things on the screen moving, wanna guess how long making stuff like that takes? Psst, here, I'll give you a hint. 1 second of this is equivalent to 24 drawings or less done in a sequence that looks cool. Yeah, a real damn long time trying to draw a crud ton of frames, and plus a real damn sum of money required if you're hiring an animator, especially if you want your stuff to look like this. It's already impressive enough that Pixar, a studio with all the funding in the world, can produce an animated movie at all. But those damned corporations be ruining the art. I mean, Warner Bros. Shut down Rooster Teeth and didn't release Coyote and Acne, and then all of these other studios are laying employees off and doing their business shit now, and it's so frustrating! So, what if we built up a film or show all by ourselves? I mean, we've done it with music, films, and video games. Why not animation? If you haven't caught on, making yourself a name in indie animation is more difficult than beating Tower of the Roof's peak from the JT of H. Take it from someone with experience in both! Imagine the animation process I explained, but without the millionaire funding already there to hire as many Baxters as you want. Yeah, 2 options. Go broke trying to hire animators, voice actors, and musicians to make work and not take a decade, or do it yourself, noob. There's a reason why it took until 2019 for indie animation to set itself into pop culture. Funding is by far the biggest roadblock in creating an animated series, so much so that it would legit be easier to just accept that map a job application. But hey, once you make it out, at least you get a shout out from Saberspark! So far, there are like 5 indie shows that are meat-ridden to the ends of the earth. Hell of a Boss, Murder Drones, Lackadaisy, Has-Been Hotel, and most prominently, The Amazing Digital Circus. So many titles to look at, but here's the fun thing. You can catch up on all of them faster than I can animate a 10-second stick fight, meaning that you too can easily know what the hell your theater friends be talking about. Of course, there's other popular titles like Ramshackle, Port by the Sea, The Lovers, Meta Runner, Sunset Paradise, Aphex Twins Dreams, Long Gone Gulch, Monkey Wrench, Cliffside, Internection Cube, Enna, and what the hell is a Gilded Guy Story? Okay, this actually frustrated me a lot, so much so that it serves as a major reason for making this video. Not a lot of celebs in the indie animation space recognize Gilded Guy Story, and that offends me. Gilded Guy Story is an allegory about artistry and the struggles it takes to reach your dreams, and has some of the best visuals and really any animation I've seen barring that of anime. Professionals like Howard Wimshurst and Alan Becker sing its praises, and yet it's not lumped in alongside, say, Has-Been Hotel when indie animation is brought up. Probably because it doesn't have Michael Kovac in it. But we're not talking about Gilded Guy Story, are we? We're talking about the community it comes from, Hyuns Dojo. So, what is Hyuns Dojo? It's a community of animators founded by Hyun, and its main animation gimmick is this. Create your OC, called a duelist. Detail the abilities they possess, then use that character to duel other people's OCs via creating animation, art, or short stories. You and your opponent submit your work into a poll, and whoever gets the most votes wins the duel. It's a tradition that dates back to 2005, when it was called RHG, but over time, it has been refined to our current system. There's also a rank-based system where you submit your own animation portfolio into a voting system, and voters determine what rank you get based on the quality of your portfolio compared to the expectations for each rank. Grasshopper is the lowest rank, reserved for those beginning their animation journey, and Shogun is the highest non-tournament based rank, reserved for those who have gone above and beyond the fundamentals of animation and are capable of producing dynamic animations that will even impress industry experts. Clearly, a huge rank range. Of course, a ton of animators in the dojo, particularly in the Shogun rank, work in professional environments. See the stickman thing he made 14 years ago? That's made by this Miku guy who worked on Chainsaw Man, Frieren, and apparently Amphibia? There's also Shirakuga, who worked on One Piece, and his first animation is this. Truly the most heavenly piece of animation that's out there. Also, apparently, he started animating and drawing 3 years ago. Like, what the fuck? Here's the fun thing, though. That's not even touching the tip of the iceberg of talent that Hyuns Dojo has cultivated over a decade. There's the aforementioned Gilded Guy Story, but there is also a bunch of other animations the dojo has promoted that I would stop at nothing to shove down your throats. Shock 1 and 3, an OG stick figure fight series by the legendary Turquoise, responsible for a super iconic RHG character, FLL. Dominate by Guz, a collab effort that pushed the boundaries of visual storytelling, special effects, and whatnot in stick figure animation. The Door series, displaying the dojo's extreme collaborative skill, which would be taken to the extreme via the Paint Dry collab. The Imitator collab, hosted by Shuriken255, taking animation into the realm of rhythm, which is further expanded by Hatena's Soundline Challenge, and the Osu collab. We don't talk about that. Donnie Boots' Cinder animations, which takes heavy amounts of tropes and visuals of anime, and combines it into stick figure animation, creating something that's entirely his own. And finally, and most importantly, the Chosen One Tournament. A competition where the very best animators of the dojo, who aren't busy, have a few months to create an animation, and several judges vote based on the visuals, storytelling, and creativity. My favorites are Bambooty's Pew Pew Zap Zap, which placed 6th place, TJB's The Director, which placed 3rd, and House 3's Dude Demo, which placed at 1st place. You couldn't pay me $1 billion to tell you that these projects don't deserve to be spotlighted alongside Lackadaisy and the indie scene. No shame to them, by the way. If you are seeing this video, show it to your favorite cartoon review channel. Make him watch it. I'm sure their cool-ass nerdy audience would love the sea of good animations that Hyuns Dojo offers. However, there is, ultimately, one reason why I think Hyuns Dojo should be acknowledged so much more than it currently is. It doesn't just harbor incredibly talented animators, it doesn't just harbor an ocean of amazing content. More than anything else, it harbors a path. Back a wee bit ago, I mentioned just how difficult getting popular in the indie animation scene is, comparing it to beating Tower of the Roof's Peak and J-To. It's hard to underestimate how difficult it is, but here's the thing, saying that brings a huge sense of hopelessness to the nerds who want to make an indie show, like maybe something named Cyberverse High. This easily leads to demotivation, but there's something else that may impact an animator's growth as much as the motivation: confusion. There may not be any clear path towards becoming a successful animator for most. You may end up creating random animations that don't really go beyond what you've learned or elevate your skills. Sure, there are Howard Wimshurst's tutorials and Alan Becker's 12 principles, but maybe you'll want a clearer route of progression that will ensure very fast improvement for a ludicrously difficult skill. Well, Hyuns Dojo gives you a cobblestone path with perfectly lit torches. Most of the community's animators create stick figure fights, which is, according to even professionals, one of the fastest ways to improve an animation. Stick figures are notoriously easy and fast to create, which almost balances out the difficulty and length of animating. You only need 6 to 8 strokes to create a proper stick figure drawing. As I mentioned before, 1 second of animation takes utmost 24 drawings, which translates to utmost 144 to 192 strokes. You'd be hard-pressed to be more efficient and flexible than that, lest you animate a freaking bouncing ball. Combine that with referenced footage of fight scenes, both from animation and real life, and you can create a cool as hell 1-minute anime fight scene in mere weeks, as long as you're passionate and hardworking, as opposed to months/years. If you can make the background as minimal and flexible as the stick figures themselves, you could much more easily expand to really satisfying background perspective shots for your fight scenes, while still being able to grasp the concept of perspective. As mentioned, there are duels and collabs you can participate in. These both give you an option. Do you want to work with a team to create the best animation that everyone in Unity can create? Or do you want to compete against someone's artistic skill? Or maybe both? It gives you that choice between competition and collaboration instead of mainly sticking to one side. There are also a ton of other resources like sound effects and accessible commissions for animators, voice actors, and musicians. Speaking of which, the dojo also harbors a place where musicians and writers can share their works alongside artists and animators. TLDR, the dojo gamifies the process of animation, making it as enjoyable as possible, while also helping you achieve really fast improvement. It is the one place that every indie animation nerd should go to improve their animation skills. Now, I need to reiterate this point. I don't intend to undermine the immense talent and hard work that the animators for popular indie animated titles put forth. Animation is time-consuming and really, really difficult. And every single piece of animation, no matter how amateur it is, has a shit ton of effort put into it. Seriously, I myself have spent 2 weeks on a simple stick figure fight test, and if it takes me this long to create something like that, imagine how excruciatingly tedious it would be to animate 20 minutes of full body characters moving elegantly. You know what? My Jato comparison isn't accurate enough. This shit will take more time than beating Tower of Spiraling Fates. But this makes my plea for cartoon reviewers like SaberSpike to endorse Hyuns Dojo a lot stronger. These animations deserve the light of day from content creators and their fan bases who clearly show a lot of respect for animators. I'm sure he's busy doing other things, like watching the 900th full-body animation, but I sincerely hope that he can get to endorsing the huge talent that this long-lasting community has cultivated, and cement the dojo community as the cornerstone of indie animation it deserves to be. And since we're talking about stuff that should be talked about a lot more when bringing up the topic of indie animation, I'd like to share some titles that either shaped the landscape of the scene or are just really cool in my opinion. Xiao Xiao, a 2001 animated series by Zhu Jichang, where a stickman does cool fights and may have potentially been the ultimate catalyst of the online stick figure community. Ruby, a 3D animated series by Monty starting in 2013, following the adventure and struggles of 4 girls, made by the legendary Rooster Teeth, and was a phenomenon just as big as Has-Been Hotel back in the day. Brackenwood, created by former Disney in-betweener Adam Phillips, it's an online series that took the bar of Newgrounds animation and raised it to the motherfucking Carmen line. The Panta Hat YouTube channel, stop-motion comedy sketches, has gay femboy and goth girl, so you know it's high quality. Toho Eternal Night, a 3D animated series made by Minus T that goes immensely hard on special effects and camera movements. One of my favorites in the visual aspect. Tarboy, made by James Lee in 2007. South Park-esque animation but cooler, an allegory about the brutality of capitalism, and may have been a huge factor in the development of indie animation. I mean, what more would you want? Oh yeah, and also Toho Memories of Phantasm. Like, what the fuck? How was this made in 2011 with an anime style? Oh my gosh! Shit, it's the Katawa Shoujo of indie animation, let me tell you that. And I had to record this on a separate mic just to emphasize just how insane this is. You get the damn point. Just go to Mepeti's indie animation spotlight spreadsheet. Anyways, goodbye and the closing parentheses.